part 3, okay, of the State of the Union Address fact check. We left off on immigration, and we're back to immigration. He talked about immigration for a really long time. I'm like, not gonna lie, it was really long. He also like claimed that like stopping immigration would be better for the economy, and this has been a right-wing talking point for years, that immigrants are just freeloaders who just come in and then they just like live off Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare, and that's not what happens. That's not what happens. For example, some Fortune 15, is that what they're called? I don't know, really big companies, like there was a list of the top 25 companies in America, and on that list, here are some of the companies that were created by either first or second generation immigrants. Apple, Google, IBM, Facebook, Amazon, eBay, Yahoo, and there was a whole lot more on the list, but those are the ones at least I knew about before I looked up that list. So, if you don't believe that immigrants should come here, or that if you believe immigrants are just freeloaders, I suggest trying not to use any of those for like a day. Good luck with that. He also said about the immigration reforms, these reforms will also support our response to the terrible crisis of opioid and drug addiction. That is false. He actually cut funding for the branch of the government that is dealing with the current opioid epidemic. Or, I mean, technically, what they're saying is that they're going to move the money to somewhere that doesn't deal with the opioid epidemic and just leave people to die of this disease. It's not a disease, I'm sorry. Of this condition. And then his Attorney General, Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III, has been having a war on marijuana, and marijuana has been proven to cure opioid addiction and other drug addictions. It gets people off these dangerous drugs and it gives them their lives back. But I mean, why would they do that? Because I mean, they've just been, their donors are like all freaking, a bunch of them are big pharma companies. So there's that. More information on that was also done by the Young Turks. I really like the Young Turks, in case you haven't noticed. He then went on to talk about defense, and he said, quote, "We are also restoring our strength and standing abroad." This is false. There was a survey done, and the trust that America will do the right thing in a time of crisis has been cut in half since Trump took office. Foreign leaders do not trust him. They do not want to work with him. Britain's been talking about kicking him out, and Trump also talked about how we needed to stand up to China and Russia. China and Russia are the ones taking our spot in the global standing because of his for America First policy. China's been moving in on clean energy, and the two countries that he's saying we need to stand up to are the ones taking our spot in the global standing because he doesn't believe in the globalist economy that the world now depends on. And yeah, I had something else. I don't remember what it was. He also said, quote, "For this reason, I'm asking Congress to end the dangerous defense sequester and fully fund our great military." Who stopped funding it? That is my question in response to this. Who stopped funding it? I guarantee if the Department of Defense asked Congress for $5 billion for yachts, the Department of Defense would give it to them. Because national security. Nobody is defunding the military. It has always been funded. This is just factually inaccurate. You don't even have to look up the answer to that. Which is good, because I didn't. He then went on to talk about ISIS. And Trump implied that almost 100% of the territory held by ISIS was liberated thanks to him and his policies. That is false. According to Vox.com, the number or the amount of territory that has been liberated from ISIS control is more around 60% since he took office. I mean, that's still good, but It's not 100%, excuse me. And his policies that he's been using have just continued what Obama did during his administration. So I don't really think Trump deserves credit for just literally using what Obama did. But I mean, whatever. And he's also never in the White House. He's at like Mar-a-Lago or in his bed taking executive time. So if anybody's getting credit for anything happening with ISIS, it should probably be Secretary Mattis or anybody on the National Security Council who's actually doing their jobs and acting like responsible adults. So yeah, running out of time with this video too. This was such a long speech. Okay. I'll see you in part 4, I guess.